So, welcome to the hardest top 12 I've had to make in my career. Um, this one is my top 12 favorite figures of this decade. Now, one thing that I wanted to do. I didn't want to include any on the top 10s list of Marvel Legends figures of the year on this list too much. There were some figures I made exceptions for. One of them, which was just too good to not put in here, and another one who, well, snuck his way into the top 10s. That is Silver Samurai. Originally, he was going to be number 11, but I swapped him out because he was good, but not good enough. These are from left to right, my least favorite to favorite honorable mentions. But really, all of these I love. There are some problems with him. Ozymandias, long arms, terrible ankles. Spider-Man Noir, head is a little too big. But again, I'm fine with that because it is mask over what I can assume is probably a double mask face. Prowler had some problems with his knees. Chris Pratt, his hand broke off only because I call him Chris Pratt because he is fantastic. Joker, he's really the middle ground. He's doesn't have any problems, but still wasn't just good enough because he is a little long. Silver Samurai, every photo I've seen of him has a scratch on him, which I find a little weird. I still love these guys. I think Wolverine is my favorite, and that's why I wanted to include him on this list. Couldn't, because he was on the 2018 list. So, anyway, I'll move these guys out of the way, and we'll start at number 12. And at number 12 is Shaggy Rocky. This guy is fantastic. I love him. He has everything I need from a creepy main villain. And McFarlane knocked it out of the park with this guy. I'm excited to what they do next. I know they have the DC license. It's gonna be weird. Definitely weird. Also, speaking of Mattel, I wanted to include Robin on this list. He didn't ship, though. I wanted to include Alfred Pennyworth. Didn't ship. The Killer Crockwave. I wanted to include it, but didn't ship. So, yeah. Anyway, I already did a review on this guy. Not going to go on any longer because he is freaking me out. Let's get on to number 11. Number 11 would have been Silver Samurai, but I think Living Laser just pulls off everything I wanted him to. When they announced we're making Living Laser, I went, okay, I want a hot pink clear body that has some lightning on him and has a classic purple helmet. Did they do that? Yes! The lightning effect is crisp. I've seen none with really sloppage. And since they didn't do it without the whole figure, it looks really nice in where it is. Sort of like he's channeling energy, that his legs sort of are less important than his arms are. And also, he looks amazing. He brings a lot of color to an otherwise pretty drab display. I mean, honestly, if you look at the amazing figures, my comic book figures, I have Silver Surfer next to Captain Canada. No, that's not his name. Guardian. Next to Genosville. Next to Citizen V. Next to Kree Sentry. Next to Captain Marvel Binary Warren. And Nighthawk. And he brings such a beautiful color to him that it really stands out. And also, looks fantastic. I had to give number 11 to him. Number 10 is another Marvel legend that I just absolutely love. Now, I understand, and the reason why I didn't put him on the list is because of inaccuracy. But really, I love this guy so much. He's just so fun to handle, and I mean, I had such a blast posing him and taking photos of him that I just can't pass up giving number 10 to War Machine. Before you get all mad at me in the comment section, this guy does something I didn't expect. Pull off a big buck while seeming in scale. When we saw that suit, I was like, wow, that's big. I don't feel that could fit, that they would pull it, that Marvel Legends could pull off a big version of him, that they would probably, make him a little bit shorter or just mess up and he wouldn't look as good. They made him perfect. He's taller than he's as tall as I wanted him to be, and he also is bulky enough where I just love it. I love it. And it could be one of my guilty pleasure figures. We're going to go into the bedroom right now. Okay, that was a bad joke. let's move on to number 9, a figure that started my descent into black series. Of course it is. It's Lando. It is the Childish Gambino Lando figure. This guy has crisp articulation, a beautiful look, a nicely done cape and scarf, beautiful gun, beautiful head, beautiful detailing all over. This guy is amazing, and I don't think I will ever come across a love as beautiful as this guy. But he does look fantastic, and he was the best part of the movie, which I didn't really like. But anyway, I digress. Let's get on to number 8. Yep, number 8. It is the Watchman Rorschach. Now I'm a big fan of Watchmen, so it makes sense why when they announced figures, I was going to be excited. Where the other two, Ozymandias and Dr. Manhattan, feel weird because they have such long arms compared to their body, Rorschach pulls it off. Mainly because, well, it's a giant trench coat. You can't really see where his torso kind of ends. That could be above his belt. That could be right on his belt. We don't know. And also, the thin torso is thickened by this, making him look a lot more proportional and normal. They need to just do more jacketed figures, and it will look good, okay? Even the Red Hood, which I didn't pick him up, looks fantastic because he has a coat on, a jacket. So they just gotta learn to do that. Also, he comes with the most stuff out of all of them, and he really made it fun to start having a Watchman display, which I'm expanding. A comedian is coming in the mail soon. Anyway, let's get on to this was number 8. Number 7. Number 7 really was sort of like the, I guess I won't call him the gateway drug. I'll call him like the highness after it. If you don't know, I started collecting 6-inch from 2 figures. 2 of them happen to be on this list somewhere. Well, one of them is on this list. Can't say who, can't say what, because you'll expect him. And he was the gateway drug into my collection. This guy was sort of the additive to it. It is Frieza from Dragon Ball. I've been a Dragon Ball fan for such a long time, and getting a figure that is nice and that didn't cost the bank was really my key. I wanted a perfect Frieza and a perfect Goku, and I do want a Cell figure. They haven't made one, though. I mean, I can't find one. I gotta find one. But he really brought me in to collecting figures. I realized, hey, if I can get my favorite figures from pop culture, why don't I get Marvel figures? I love Marvel. Why don't I get them? Well, this was the start of it. And really, I don't think I'll ever stop because of him. But he's fantastic. He does have some problems. I do admit his tail. I don't like it. I definitely would go for the SH Figuarts one right now, but I still love him, and we got what we wanted. At least I got what I wanted. I think Bandai Tamashii Nations, Bandai America, is that what they're called? Did a fantastic job with this guy. So, I give him the number 7 spot. Number 6 is a figure that you might not know I have, because I haven't reviewed him yet, but I do love him. And he hasn't been in any stop motions, and he might not be, but I still wanted him. I still wanted him because he's my favorite character from the original trilogy of Star Wars. Well, the first movie besides Obi-Wan and besides Lando and Vader. And okay, it's Han Solo. I had to get the Hoth version because it has the best face printing on him, and it also has the best look. He looks fantastic. He feels fantastic. I definitely was glad when they announced him and when I got him. And also, coming with Leia made him so much better. So much better. Because I wanted a Leia, but they haven't made really any good Leias. I mean, the Force Awakens one was okay. Force Awakens one for Han Solo's okay. This one is fantastic. Face printing looks exactly like Harrison Ford. You can do the half and half, which I always joke about. And he feels like Han Solo. You feel like he's about to smuggle it in 12 parsecs. Hey. Now these are the top 5. Tell me what your top 5 favorite figures of the decade are. Just do that in the comments below. Just do that. Alright. This figure was from a movie that I actually kind of liked. I mean, I know people might not like me for this, but it is Batman from Justice League. I liked Justice League. Sue me. It was different. I was worried that it was going to seem too much like Avengers, and it didn't feel too much like Avengers. It felt definitely a mix of it, and it also felt very non-comic oriented. But this was my favorite Batman suit. I had to get one of him, especially getting the Mayfix Justice League one fitted perfectly. It did nice jobs, and it looks fantastic. He looks great as a nice little centerpiece in my collection. Because he comes with a lot of stuff. He comes with at least a bunch of different hands, and comes with also stand. He comes with everything I needed from a nice high-tech Batman figure. So, I give him this spot. Alright. This figure was the gateway drug into 6-inch. I was a big fan of the TV show, mainly because it aired on this one website that I like to use. It was an old one that I used to watch, and it had like all shows that were in Japan. And found out about this show from MGO, and I really started to fall in love with it. It is sort of like Power Rangers, but cooler. It is Kamen Rider. And yeah, this guy, Kamen Rider Ghost, was the gateway drug for me, and I never will forgive him. Him and Spectre, I bought both of them. They are Bandai figures. I found them on eBay. I fucking love them. They are fantastic, with great articulation, great sculpting, great detailing, everything I wanted. I love them. They are my favorite figures, and this is definitely a good spot on my list. This one I already gushed over, so I'll kind of keep it simple. It is the Mezco 112th Spider-Man from Spider-Man Homecoming. Fantastic suit. I really love him, and yeah, he is beautiful. Now the next two, don't know why I did that noise, but the next two are my 2 favorite figures. Now, there is a big difference between both of them. So I don't think I should say the same thing. Oh, you can switch these two. No, you can't. Number 1 is number 1, and number 2 is Hulk from Thor Ragnarok. Oh, jeez. My God. Fantastic. I don't know if I even got to say anything about this guy. He comes with a bunch of hands. He comes with 2 giant weapons. Bunch of head sculpts. He comes with everything I need from a Hulk figure. Thank you, Hulk. Thank you. And also, he looks fucking amazing. I know I'm not supposed to swear on this channel. Just look at him, though. I'm coughing up because of him. No, but this guy is fantastic. Please, if you find him for cheap, which you won't, if you find him for less than $200, buy him. He's fantastic. He is my favorite thing in my collection. Yeah, buy him. I'll just say that right now. Buy him. Go ahead, treat yourself. My number 1 figure, is... Oh, jeez. I mean, if you've been following this channel for a while, and I mean, not too long, I mean like the beginning of this year, of 2019. If you go back to January-ish, watch some of those reviews, and you see this guy, just watch my review on him. I say everything I want to. It is the Iron Man suit from Iron Man 2. It is the bagel suit. That's what a donut suit. That's what I call it. And he looks amazing. He has the best Tony Stark likeness, Robert Downey Jr. face sculpt ever. And he really is my favorite figure in my collection. That isn't $200. But if I can say one thing about this guy, it is buy him. He is worth every penny. He is expensive, no doubt. I won't sugarcoat it at all. You're gonna have to cough up a lot of money for him. This is like primo Santa gift. But he is worth every penny. I love him in my stop motions. I love him in my reviews. I love him on my shelf. I love him doing nothing but just standing there and looking like the good old boy he is. And he is my favorite figure of this decade. Because he did come out in this decade, technically. I know I said Iron Man 2, but he is from Iron Man 3, the big hallway scene, the big Hall of Armor scene. You buy all the armors, you set them all together. He has lights. Oh, he is everything I want. And I would not really, I don't know if I'd be doing, I cannot say any more things about him. My tongue is literally becoming numb because of the thought of him. He is fantastic. He is amazing. He is worth every single penny. Buy him now. So that's my list. Yeah, I know. There are some figures in it that you probably haven't seen reviews for, some figures that I will be reviewing, and some figures that you probably didn't expect. I bet you didn't expect some figures like Binary Captain Marvel and Worthy Cap. I bet you expected them to be on this list. They weren't going to be on it. I always had my intentions on these figures, and, admittedly, this has been one of the best years of my channel, of my life. So, thank you guys. And also, I'll see you next year. I'm not going to see you till a new decade starts. But I don't know. Anyway, goodbye.